All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, you have to be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Throwing his Wentz. And Hill with it over the middle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does where a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
They go play action here on 1st down. Being chased out left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They run the counter with Cook. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication. Didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
Throwing now is Wentz. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Then we're going to 53. Then we go 46. 26.
A second down throw for Prescott. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down.
47.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He'll buy some time. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Man, we see a lot of quarterbacks try and do this. They get out of the pocket, they get in trouble, and they try and force the ball into their star receiver to make a play, sometimes whether he's open or not. And I think this time, it was definitely an or not.
Drops it off to Ajayi. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Come on now, come on now, let's go.
From the gun, it's Wentz. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Jalen Smith in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Shotgun now for Wentz. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they're getting blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you can see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here.
46. 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Here go 46. Here go 46, 46. 26.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Oh, Prescott stripped. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third.
Here go 47. Done. 26. 26.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And absolutely zero surprise that that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
Now, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd down, Cook. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and set them down.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them.
26. 26.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long.
26. 26.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And
the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. On second down, here's Wentz. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now it's the Boise State along. Jay Ajayi. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. On first down, Wentz looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Well, earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Again, this is Cook. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Now Wentz throwing on second down. They complete it to Hill. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Eagles on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Working from the gun, Wentz. And he finds Cook. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Back to the ground, Cook. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Wentz to throw on second down. This will be caught at about the 6. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down. Now Wentz into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So no scoring in our first half. What will the second half bring as we are now back underway? And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Second down, Prescott. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Looking for the out route. It's completed to Landry. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Prescott now on 2nd down. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys are in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10th. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
To throw, it's Wentz. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it end without the catch. Hence, that great diving play.
Yeah, lay it up there, let him go get it, and he got it. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Back-to-back gains of 17, and they are really on the march now. It's a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Throwing on first is Wentz. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
5-2.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to have a third down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Wentz. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Throwing is Wentz. Rolling to his left. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
But you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Great 15.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And That'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Cowboys. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the third quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first two drives of the third quarter, one for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
And this thing gets blown up well behind the line of scrimmage, but the marker is down on the field. Who's this against? They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Prescott from the gun. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And a return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Here's Wentz to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
82.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And this is Hurts with it, right side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, but it leads to 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And Elliott puts this one through. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise right now.
He certainly does. In fact, I would suggest he laminated it.
Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Prescott now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
47. 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Flush to his right. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
10 carry now for Elliott. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
I haven't met a defensive coordinator yet that thinks 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job. Hold him to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on 1st down. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
47.
They'll try and run for the middle. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And this is caught. He hits Landry. A big pickup of 12 yards on fourth down to keep this drive from stalling. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding goal.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. You mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. He's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
A good pick up there of 20 yards. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They go play action here on first down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the fourth quarter and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
47, 26.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long.
26. Over here. Right there.
Again, it's Elliott. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. Here's Prescott. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
My, oh my, they've had some success bringing him off the edge. How about the gambling man who's the defensive coordinator? He's not just bringing pressure. He's bringing a corner to go after the quarterback.
And it's worked twice now, twice like a charm.
And not only has that worked like a charm, he's been awfully disruptive in his usual role covering receivers. Now he's rushing the passer as well.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. They start the drive with Cook. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Now a play fake here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go.
To throw is Wentz. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Run.
Wentz to throw. He's going to air one out. And this is taken in at the 5. It's a big play there for the Eagles. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on first and goal. Here's Ajayi, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's third and goal. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Sunday.
They'll try to run with a J. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And any yardage game there is really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my old coach used to say. Get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
And it is good! He splits the uprights on the chip shot. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
Must have.
It had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Philadelphia, the train just keeps rolling, 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, it's just their 2nd loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they will be at home next week.